What's up, y'all? It's the morning, so I'm looking rough, but whatever. So I started watching 90210, the reboot from '08, because that's the one like I watched in high school. And watching that one when I realized like, cause alright, so I've seen like the first 2.5 seasons of the original 90210, and when I started seeing, like when I saw like the Peach Pit and Nat and Silver's mom, they got Jenny Garth in there. They got Jenny Garth. I don't know if that was in the last clip. She plays Kelly. They brought Brenda back for a couple of episodes, which was like the main character. So like the baseline of like the story is like a family who moves from some Midwest town. In the old one, I want to say they moved from like Minnesota or some shit. And in the reboot, they moved from Wichita or Kansas or whatever. And so they kept the brother and sister dynamic instead of them being twins. In the reboot, they got an adopted son named Dixon, and he's black, played by Mac Wow. And so there's this character on there. Her name is Silver. Her name is Erin Silver. She is Kelly's half sister because her mom got pregnant with her. I want to say their sophomore year or something like that. Sophomore, junior, can't remember which year it is or whatever. And so it's funny because like in the reboot, Silver and Kelly are characters, but Silver's one of like the main characters. And then I was watching the original last night, just pretty much picking up where I left off. And the last episode I watched, the mom just finds out that she's pregnant with Silver. So it's dope, like so it's pretty dope, like watching the like the storylines play out, how they keep the original stuff. And so like so I bounce back and forth because I've seen, this is like my third time watching the reboot, okay? So I watched it when it was on TV, but it came out like, I want to say like my senior year of high school and like spring maybe of my senior year of high school. So I only saw maybe like the first two or three seasons, and then they had it on Netflix, and then so when they had it on Netflix, I watched it like all the way through. But that was like back in 2014, I want to say. I know that because I was living with my sister and I was on her Netflix I had her Netflix login, so I was watching it on there. And so like after I had watched that one, I was like, well, damn, like I want to kind of see the original. I didn't start watching the original till I want to say like 2017 when I first got Hulu. I had signed up for like, you know what I'm saying, back then they were doing like a month free trial, but they had an offer with Apple because I had just got my little funky ass iPhone and shit. So when I saw that they had the original on Hulu, I was like, well, shit, I'm about to watch this. Now, I must say, in the original so far, like, the drama and stuff has been pretty, like, whatever. It's an old-ass show. It came out, like, when I was born type shit. So, in early 90s. And so, hold the fuck up. Okay, yeah, I see somebody. Oh, it's an Amazon delivery. Okay. When I see people pull up in my parking spot, I get like, okay, who the fuck is this? The type shit. But anyways, the original, like the drama with it and shit, like it's kind of, they pretty much were like, doing like message episodes, so to speak, whatever. Like one of the episodes I just watched, they were talking about like AIDS and making the AIDS awareness. And so I had stopped watching it because I got pretty much like bored, and then I want to say like I had discovered Tubi TV, and when I discovered that, they had all of like my Flavor of Loves, I Love New York, like they had all my shows streaming, so I pretty much just kind of like benched 90210. So then what recently made me want to start watching the original was when in the reboot they actually talk of like they speak vaguely on like the love triangle with Brenda, Kelly, and Dylan, and I hadn't got that far. I want to say that was probably one of my motivations to watching it, because I thought that the drama with those three would have broke out in like season 1, or at least halfway through season 2. And then like the other day, like when I had started watching the original and I started seeing like comparisons and shit, I got on Reddit and kind of looked up like, what happened in the love triangle. So I pretty much got like surface details. Really wasn't, to me, like I don't mind spoiler alerts, because except for with You, and I'll talk about You in another video, but spoiler alerts don't really bother me, especially like in a show series, because I like to see, I know that this happens, but I like to see the build up that gets it, or what I'm saying, like see the the happening, seeing how it pans out. That's always interesting to me. So to see or to read about like shit that happens in the show, like sometimes they be talking about shit that don't happen until like the later seasons. So so I knew about the love triangle. I knew it was gonna pop off. It's just taking too long. I'm pretty much because since I have good memory sometimes, I was able to pick up like where I left off. Hulu actually only has like the 3rd and 4th season. They used to have all of them. It's like 10 seasons of this show with like 20 something episodes. So I ended up with my phone company. If you got T-Mobile, you can get like Paramount Plus with your plan or whatever. So I had added on Paramount Plus, not knowing that show was streaming on there. They just had like Hit the Floor and Love and Hip Hop and shit. So I hopped my ass on Google. I'm like, okay, damn, I know this shit streaming on something. Like, what's it streaming on? Then I find out streaming on Paramount Plus. So being that I already have Paramount Plus or whatever, I hopped my ass on there. I found it, and I just pretty much picked up where I left off at on from where I was watching on Hulu. I was able to like, because like for me, some shows I don't mind watching it again from like season 1 and just like starting over, but I feel like I had like it wasn't interesting. Like there was nothing in season 1 that made me want to be like, damn, I want to watch season 1 again. So I'm thinking I'm about more than halfway through season 2 at this point. Like I said, it is Silver's mom, but Kelly's mom just found out that she's pregnant. So I feel like now they're about to start dropping like these bombshells that are just gonna like pan out in season 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. So I will be doing videos on the comparisons between the shows and the drama. Like, I'm going to talk about that love triangle. Because a lot of, well, what I've read and what I've heard was like it was a really juicy love triangle, but shit, I'll see. So if you want to follow me on my socials, I can be found at Bella Fun Size on Instagram, at Fun Size Glitter on Twitter. I don't have many followers on that page. I don't really care. Because, I mean, like, I used to be really big into, like, ooh, got to get my followers up. Follow me on this, follow me on that. But, hell, if you fuck with your girl, you fuck with your girl. If you want to follow me, you can. If you don't, then don't. It's all good, whatever, you know. I'll catch y'all in the next video.
This is a Next Wednesday Media production.